All right, hey, I think I'm live now again. All right. All right. So, sorry about that. Back live again and I have it hooked up hopefully a little bit better now. I don't know. Just growing pains for this. I'm trying to figure out how to get it done reliably. Um, thank you for showing patience. Does metrics utils even exist still? This makes me wonder if someone like if this is code that is like been imported but was typically only used against older ones. I didn't even know we still had metrics in here. Hey, I guess we do. Okay. Good stuff then. I don't know much about Drax stuff because I'm just reviewing it for ironic-y stuff, but I don't really know Drac well enough to like review it with actual knowledge of that. So yeah, this definitely needs. All right, so in my opinion, this patch probably really wasn't ready for review yet. Couple of things to note is that if you're pushing a change up and you get a verified -1, you got to come and look and see why that verified -1 is happening. In this case, this is failing on PEP 8, which is lint, which is something you can even test locally. So that's weird. It does pass all the tests now. Um, but I also think this is a feature that has not been um tested yet. So that's a little bit weird. I'm going to see if there are other patches related to this. Um, Not really. So, okay. I'm going to move on to looking at some other code now. We have a if you've never seen it before, this is actually a cool thing to see. We have what we call the ironic whiteboard. We use it to track a lot of things about the project. Sort of like if you think about it, like if you had a physical whiteboard sitting in an area near a team, and you just put stuff on it. That's sort of what this is for. Um, but I'm coming here for this link. So um, ironic contributors, basically we have an idea of like marking a patch as a review priority for the week. But that sort of changed into just we mark it as a review priority for the week when it's ready for review and people are looking at it. It's not always like a specific priority. Like I feel like priority implies something that's just not true about this, right? Like it's not a like priority to get this done. It is just it's just ready for review. We want to take a look at it, right? So that's the way I like looking at it. So let's open up the priority things to review and let's go down the list and see. There's not that many. At this point in the cycle, ironic tends to not have as much contribution. I don't really know why. I'm assuming there's some sort of downstream thing happening. Like maybe, a lot of work to prepare a release for Red Hat or something. I really don't know. I just know that sort of patches, like sort of spike at certain points in the cycle. And right now is one of the lower points. So we don't have that much here ready to review. If you look, this is not passing test. We can go look and see why. Create Redfish driver interrupt profile. Oh, this is a good change. I liked this, but it's not really something that that I can review. But I am curious why the tests are failing. They were passing on 11, and now they're failing. And let's see why they're failing. See if it's just something that Okay, so we're literally just talking about a rebate. So what's so okay, the ironic standalone job failed. That's the only voting job that failed. Let's see what happened. All right. Okay. Failure. Now, for ironic test, this is not that useful other than just seeing the total. You see one of the tests failed. Kind of have to go look at the longer logs to really make heads or tails out of any of it. The other thing is that it really is it's not the easiest thing to troubleshoot ironic CI failures now because there's just they're just very, very complex. So figured out here though. Going to the bottom thing always like just sort of dunks on my browser. I don't know if it's the JavaScript or what, but it thing always chugs. So this is a bunch of Ansible output because we'll use Ansible to run the jobs. Not that useful up until we actually get to the test. Okay. Okay, so what happened is we did a test RAM disk boot, and then we pinged it, and we expected it to be up in 120 seconds, and it wasn't. So you have to answer the question of why wasn't that RAM disk boot up? So we're gonna look at what, like artifacts, under logs as well. Yeah, okay, we can look at under logs. Controller logs. Yeah. There's a couple of things we can look at here. The ironic VM logs are sort of like a snapshot of the console on the ironic node that's being provisioned. So like we can look at that and sort of get an idea of if the node booted or whatnot. The one thing I'll note that's interesting about this is that you see console node 3 win a lot, node 1 win a lot, node 0 just has this. So I bet we're going to click this. Click this, we might see that the let's see. So it downloaded a file. So it was a timeout. Failed to start boot Pixie. It failed to Pixie boot is basically what this is telling me. So it's either some type of network issue or some type of setup issue. This is just this is like heading down the route of it's likely a random failure caused by environmental issues. But let's see if we can figure out a little bit deeper because this is like running master. This is not a change that should affect these tests. So the fact it's failing here is concerning because that's a sign that our tests might be a little flaky. Oh, this is what I want. Actual text. Okay. Oh yeah, that's got to be impossible to read on the screen. Hopefully that'll help. Node. Where I need to go. You know what? I know I can do this in a script or something. Oh yeah, yeah. That ain't gonna work for me. Is it wrong to assume? I'm gonna assume. I don't know if this is a good assumption or not, but I'm gonna assume that that is the node that we were having trouble with. Search through. Add node traits. RPC do provisioning action. Verifying. Manageable. Ports created. Okay, so provides, that's going to run it through cleaning, but I think cleaning is disabled. Available. So now it's unavailable. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Update node. Deploy. And then it boots up and it never picks. I think this is probably just some sort of random VM failure. I'm gonna recheck. And one thing that's really important is if you have to recheck something, put like a line of text after it because it sort of gets tracked. So I'm gonna say ironic. Standalone job, node 0 failed to pick C. So it like sort of indicates I've done some digging here and I think it's random. But we'll see. Maintaining the CI is just super tough because we can't like it's can't even say something's ironic when you work on ironic because it seems like meta ironic, but it seems a little ironic to me that that we sort of invented ironic to get rid of noisy neighbors, but noisy neighbors causes us so much trouble in CI, or at least, I mean, similar behavior, right? Like where you can't get as reliable a behavior as you might. Those are all failing. That one is going to have other stuff after it. I've reviewed that separately. I think this is the only other ironic change that's up and good for you. So let's have a look. Gap between operations for recent firmware versions. To avoid timeout. Okay. Okay, so it just takes longer to do action. Oh, so just retrying more. Apply. I'm gonna land it, but I'm also gonna say, I wonder if we need to make this configurable long term. If we find a need, change it again, maybe. But either way, we'll land it. There's no need to like, just because I think there's a way something can be done a little bit better. This is a patch that fixes a bug for someone, so it's like, let's get it in. Let's get that bug out of someone's way. All right. So we've got that. Got that. All right. What's next? Let's see. I know that a new change was pushed to the Nova spec. We'll look and see if there's any updates for the shard key spec. Okay, there. All right. John updated it. I reviewed it at patch set 3. So what I often do when I come to review this is I'll set this, I'm reviewing the diff. For a spec that doesn't always work. You often have to look at it in more detail, but that's what I'm doing here. Hey Jacob, thanks for stopping by. If there's anything you would like me to look at or talk about, just feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on going down reviewing the spec. So we've got chronic shards. Okay, Yep. Okay. This is good. This is basically like, theoretically today you can run the Nova compute like an active passive, and if you're active values you start up passive and you sort of get HA instance management that way, but it's not always perfect because you end up with situations in an extremely large cloud where the compute takes a long time to start up, and that's because every time the compute starts up, you're not doing any sharding at all with it. If you're just looking at all the ironic nodes, essentially for Nova compute to come up, it has to pull down the node. I mean, I've got enough experience with the ironic database, but that's a trick question. I mean, if you're having trouble, just ask a question. We'll figure it out together. Half the problems I've solved in my career, I had no idea how to get to them when I started, and then you just start on it and you figure it out. Go on the journey together. So I'm glad they put this in here though, because the ironic, the Nova Compute ironic drive would have to pull down every single node to get started. Kind of unfortunate, especially if you've got thousands or tens of thousands of nodes. That's just a lot of data to pull from your API. So out of scope. Hey, I like that. That's out of Default, there'll be no shard key set. All right. Once I get to the bottom of this file, I'll download that and we'll take a look at it together. I looked at that and I don't know, but like I said, we cannot know together. That's a perfectly good way to go about it. So yeah, this sets shard key compute node process use shard key include. Never try to list all ironic nodes in this. This is all stuff title. I'm gonna look at this later because I'm gonna look at your chain. This is inspector, right? 862569. Oh, not 8. Oh, hey, there we go. Okay. Oh, that's right. This is this. Oh, okay. I remember. All right, let's have a look. All right. So first things first, I'm gonna try really hard to reproduce that failure we're seeing in CI locally. Because if I can't reproduce it locally, I'm in big trouble. So this is failing in Pi 3.9 and Pi 3.10. At least it fails in both. That's actually a good sign. Oh, dude, Git review. There is so much magic in Git review. Man, Git dash review, and you can see it all. But they've got dash X for cherry pick is good. Dash D to download. Dash capital X is the cherry pick we often use because the capital X is what puts the cherry picked from one there. I mean, this is good stuff. It's got all sorts of crazy good stuff that you might not have even known existed in Garrett, but this can control it. So strongly recommend talk to your local Git review there. But we're gonna try to reproduce these failures locally. So let's see. Tox that's RE Pi 3.9. Oh, yep, okay. Hey, look, it helps if I actually open up the correct project in my IDE. All right, there we go. Let's see. Okay, that's gonna take a while. Let's pull up the full log while I've got that running as well. This thing is how much is it? To make sure that the we're not choking out OBS. Okay. That's gonna be like that's what I thought that might versions there. Haha, Pi 3.9 command succeeded. Congratulations. Okay. I don't believe you. And I'm gonna tell you a trick here, Jacob. Like what happens is we've got let me see if I can find it. Git grep OpenStack CI test, something like that. And it's something like that. There's a I thought there was something where like you can enable or disable MySQL based tests in CI, but that could just be wrong. Don't always remember things. So, whoa, why does that say Victoria? Oh, because I'm an ironic lib. That's a really good reason. What the hell did I do? That's so weird. Um, so weird that I would do that. Be in the wrong dir like that. Crazy stuff. Git, grep, stack, CI test. Yeah, that's what I knew. So, oh yes. Here we go. So this is probably why you haven't been able to reproduce it locally, because you've got to set up some of the testing environment. Yeah, and we're gonna do that right now. Um, okay. So I'm gonna do Docker run MySQL. Oh, this is my trick for getting a local database to test on. I run a MySQL client. I run a MySQL server in a Docker image. It's the quickest way to get one up. I do have MySQL installed locally. I probably could on that. I wonder if I've got to pass that in with like a dash capital E or something. Yeah, I do. MySQL Docker. There we go. It is a dash E. Okay. Docker run dash dash name OpenStack CI test dash E MySQL root password equals root, because I believe in very very high quality databases. Oh, okay. So is giving me my port for free? Oh, I failed. Well, that's interesting. I had a test failure on your change. That was not the one that you were seeing. Okay, so that is at 3306. So I can go MySQL -u root -p -h 127.0.0.1. Oh, lowercase h. You have to forward out the port. think it's this. Okay, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, it's forwarding out now. So now this should work. Beautiful. I think that was actually a script in here to do this. I'm not going to actually run, but I'm going to look at it at least. Test setup. I bet this is the problem. This right here might be the problem, but we'll see. Hey, I think we got a winner here. Now, do I have to set some sort of environment variable for the test? Is the main thing I'm wondering. Is it just going to run it, or do I need to tell it that I have a database it can connect to test it? That's the question. Um, Get back us. Yeah, okay. DB SQL Alchemy. Okay. Let's see if this runs our tests. No, not R. All too late. I didn't mean to run it with an R. That's going to take too long, but that's all right. A popping noise. R is this recreate. So R basically says throw out the current virtual environment that Tox created for you and make a new one in its place. Anytime you're getting weird behavior from unit tests, it's a good idea to use the -R just to make sure you're pulling down new versions of everything. It does make it take a lot longer. But like I said, I choose to use the -R when I'm troubleshooting tests a lot because it just takes one possibility out of the list. All right, let's see why this is failing then. Oh, hey, look, I reproduced your failure locally. There we go. Great success. All right. Let's have a look at this. Models and migration scripts are not in sync. Oh, there is a difference here. All right, so if you look at this, let's talk about why it's actually failing first, okay? So this is a list of 2 items. This is a list of items here. Node inventory, inventory data, node inventory plugin data, which is weird to me. Okay, so this is an Oslo DB. Self-filter metadata diff, Alembic, auto-generate, compare metadata. So what the hell is filter metadata diff? What does this return? This returns a diff. It's passed a list of differences. So you compare metadata for format. Okay. Let's see. Where is compare metadata? Oh, right there, probably. Alembic. Ooh. Okay. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna kind of walk you through my logic here. I wanted to find out what this meant, right? Like what this output here means, right? So what I did was I looked in this in the OsloDB test migrations. It's coming from this Alembic auto-generate compare metadata. When I look at compare metadata, what this is telling me the compare metadata format, excuse me, is a list of actions you would have to take in order to make this table on disk be like the one there. So like you see this, like this is saying that there are a list of 3 things that are different. The first of all is you have to modify the type for node inventory data. From text, I think, to a JSON included in JSON encoded dict of MySQL long text. I don't know what that means necessarily in that case, but that's what it's applying to me. And then remove the index. So I think you've got text where you should have long text, and you've got indexes that shouldn't be there. So I think you got to remove the index somehow. So let's see. This is test model sync. Okay, I need to look at the diff. I need to actually see what your code change. You go away for now. Yeah. Let's look at this. Yeah, it looks like you have actionable feedback from Julia and Dimitri on this change as well. Yeah, OAC right here. Perfect. Okay, good. So it does empty out the table when it's done. That's useful. That's what I was trying to do. So, Jacob, what was that change? Do you know it? Can you push it up? And then that way I can reproduce with the change you've made? Oh man, my system is chugging. Like encode a bunch of video and run a database and run unit tests at the same time. Laptop's gonna burn a hole through my desk here. There's also a syntax for just running the failing test. I should dig into that. That would definitely speed things up quite a bit for us here in terms of cycle time. By the way, I know this usually is an hour long. I usually would end at the top of the hour, but I'm going to stick around here and keep digging this problem till we figure something out. At least until I gotta help someone in an hour. Hey, we removed something from the list by commenting out this index. We removed one of the failures from the list, and now I think it's just going to be. Yeah, okay. That I thought it was something like that. So it's like we need to look at sa.text. Where's my SQL's long text? SQLAlchemy, because that's where it's airing now. Oh. Oh, that didn't even occur to me. Okay. So, how do we solve this in other places? This has to be something that's been solved already. So I'm going to go look at your models that you're adding. You added a node inventory model. Okay, if I go and I look at other models, I don't think this is in the migration anymore. I think despite the fact that it's complaining about the migration, I don't think it's in the migration. I think it's in the object. I don't know why I think that, but I do. So we're going to have a look. And I'm going to also compare that to another one that's like node history. Okay. Object fields.string field. We used that before in here? Okay, we have. Okay. So close, man. So close. This is not an easy one, but we're real close to it. We're gonna get it. Ring step is not exactly what I was looking for there. I'm I'm looking for another change where they added a field that uses that dict type because I don't think we're referencing it quite correctly. Oh, this is going to be it. The add node driver internal info, which is BB. Yeah, SA.text. Okay, great. That's a sarcastic great if that's not obvious because there's no explanation for why this will work. So now if I look in the object for the node and I look at driver internal info, is a flexible dict field. You're doing things the exact same way as all the other code did. Why is it breaking? Why are all of these other migrations failing too? What the hell? Yeah, definitely. I feel it. Let's look at a couple things here, okay? I'm gonna take a look at a couple of things to see to look for some different. Um Oh, it's not there. It's I39. Then activate a pip freeze grep Alembic grep SQLAlchemy. Okay. Okay. The latest to it's still a beta. Okay. Trying this with the newer version of SQLAlchemy just to see if there's any change in behavior. I'm skeptical that there will be, but it's just one of those things that never hurts to check. Guess it's a good thing that it failed in the exact same way. I'm gonna put a comment in the in your patch with all the stuff we've tried. I'm not necessarily giving up right now. I'm considering it because I feel like all the like here's the thing is I have ideas for how to fix this, but it seems wrong to go through and be more verbose to fix it when clearly there's like less verbose things that are correct. So like I'm left here going, what the hell is different about this that makes it not work? And I don't have an answer for that. Um and that to me is one of the bigger kind of things, right? Like if I knew the answer to that, I would feel a lot better. Okay, so that's a node payload. Node payload field. Okay, fields. Just double checking. Are other people using this? Yes. Okay. It's the same. Oh. Oh no, you did. Okay. Damn. Misread something for a second and got really excited, but nope, it was still the same. Um, I'm perplexed. So let's make some notes here. I spent about 30 minutes with, I mean, really, probably more like 45 minutes with Jacob during my office hours troubleshooting this CI failure. We're seeing the unit test job report 3 different differences with the chain. When asking about an index modification, which we were able to silence by dropping the UID now. I think it's indicating it needs to be long text and it's text. But the only way to force it to long text is to put my SQL specific oh, really? I wonder if that just shuts this up if you put that in here all the time. No base model. Node inventory. If we add this in here, for flexible dict field, what job? MySQL as long equals true. Why research when you can just throw it at the wall and see if it hits it? That's facetious, but okay. Got an unexpected keyword argument. MySQL is long. Okay, so it does not want that on a flexible dict field. So JSON encoded dict supports that, but not. I did not mean to change something. Oh, it's in there. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Look in there. That actually makes sense because I've been comparing it to all the ones in this model, not the ones. I do this all the time when I'm troubleshooting SQLAlchemy stuff. It's way too easy to look at the wrong models. Look at this. Hey. So I was able to get it to pass, Jacob. I removed the MySQL is long from your node inventory. Now, if those need to be long, we can figure out why they need to be long. We can figure that out now separately. But we know that the MySQL is long is what's causing the issue there. Because if we go in that, we remove that, we get rid of the... Yeah, okay. Good stuff. So now, I'm going to ask the same question that you were asking, which is, where are these used elsewhere, right? Like, this instance info is clearly a place where that's been used, right? And you can see right here, place where it's been done. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. I got you. I got this. We're about to fix this. We're about to fix this right now. I think we got it. I think we got a winner. Let's see. I'm going to say, comma, type underscore equals the... Oh. From oslodb.SQLAlchemy, import types as db type. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change this on one of them, because if this fixes it, I should be able to see one fail and one succeed now. Come on, one failure. I just want one item in the list. I know it's going to fail, but just give me one item in the list. Oh, Lord, I made it angry. This then? Yeah, you're heading down the same path I am, except for I think I'm a little bit further down it, because what's going to happen here, this test is going to fail, it's going to have one in the list. Yes! Ha ha! We got it. We got it, Jacob. We got it. You see this, Jake? We got it. We got. Can I call you Jake? Jacob is. I always naturally call anyone named Jacob Jake, but I know you spell it differently, so I imagine you may not like it being shortened in an American kind of way. But we got us here. So what we've done, to be explicit, what we've done here is this is the type argument that's being passed through to SQLAlchemy. Well, not SQLAlchemy, but Alembic. And what we're doing is we're telling SQLAlchemy to actually do the work of determining what type this is. Kuba. Hey, Kuba works fine. That's good. That rolls off of my... Hey, thanks for stopping by, Adam. I appreciate it. You ever need anything, feel free to ping me in Slack or IRC or whatever. But okay. Kuba, right? Like, am I saying that right? Just making sure I'm saying it right. So what we did instead is we're calling this dbtypes.impl, which I believe that what this is doing, we can go look and see. Impl is text. What this is likely doing is Yeah, this is exactly what it's doing. It's returning the type based on what the endpoint is. So like when you say here, we're saying it's a JSON encoded dict, MySQL is long true, and take the impl, we're saying SQL Alchemy, do all the work of figuring out what a JSON encoded dict with this setting is, and then feed it to Alembic. So this is your solution. Now for the index stuff, I don't know about that, and I'm kind of tempted to not go down that path, quite frankly, because you have a comment from Dimitri suggesting not to put no UUID in there at all. And so I feel like you should work that out before we go down that path. Do you understand what's going on here? Like, I'm going to go put a comment on your PR with the fix you need to make, because I just don't want to go dunk on your PR. Oh, perfect. Then we're good, man. Let me go put this comment on there that you can have something copy pastable, and then I think your patch is going to be up to go. So let's see. Replace sa.text with that. We figured it out during office hours. Hooray. Oh man, this is great. I didn't think we were going to get the answer there. I'm not going to lie. I thought we were stuck, and then we figured it out. We worked together on it. You pointed out that I was looking at the wrong models, and the fact that there was something else that was using that MySQL is long is a good job. I'm happy to have worked together with you. I'm glad we figured this out. This is not a hard thing. Hey, I don't know your supervisor, Kuba, but I'll tell you what, like, almost everyone who's ever managed me in software understands that software is hard. And if they're like, hey, why isn't this done? And I can explain to them I'm having a tough technical issue, a lot of times they'll be understanding. Of course, this is the more fun outcome when you can go say, I got it done, great success, celebrate. But you can't always judge your success on whether or not you get something done. Like, you've done a lot of good work here. I think that it's clear, like, you got a good understanding of this. Like, you're doing great, man. I am so happy. I'm jazzed. So this is a good time to get out of the office hours. I'll leave this before someone comes in with an impossible, unsolvable problem and knocks me off of this happiness. So thanks for watching. I do want to say, like, as always, a thanks to G Research. They hire me, let me work full time on open source software, and share my knowledge like this. A lot of companies, when they do like an open source policy office or an open source office, they just like hire a bunch of lawyers and PR people to go give talks. But do research with the open source software group, like hiring folks like me and then letting us go work upstream and help people out with that time and give back is just excellent. So I got to plug them on that. Does this count as a sponsored stream if it's literally part of my salary job to do it? I don't know, but G Research are good people, and if you're looking for a job, actually, they're hiring. So go check that out, gresearch.co.uk. The Open Source Software Lab is also looking for people who are interested in data science and DevOps. If you've got that. School's a whole different thing. You shouldn't tell me this is for school, man. I am not so good at school, but hey, I'm glad to be able to help you, Kuba, and if there's anything else I can ever do for you, feel free to ping. Next office hours will be Thursday afternoon, 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what that works out to UTC. If you ask Google, well, let's see. Hold on, let's see. 3 p.m. PST and UTC. Yeah, I'll be up here 11 o'clock UTC PM. So 20. What is that? That's 2300 UTC on Thursday. Will be my next office hour. So I'll see y'all then.